Mr. Mayor, from everything I have heard, you are very lucky to be alive. I understand you at one point had to punch holes and climb onto the roof of your house. What happened?
Actually, it wasn't a house. It was beside my house. There was a big ballroom, and the ceiling was about 20 feet high. And the next thing we knew, that we were just when the waves came in, it just brought us up, and we had no choice but to punch a hole in the ceiling and hide between the ceiling and the roof. And the waves were breaking in the roof, and the place was a resort, and it's like a ballroom, so it's a huge roof and a tall roof, and the waves just came so fast, and but worse than that was the wind. The wind was just so strong that the visibility was about 10-15 feet. You just no way you could even look, because it was so strong that it would practically pull out your eyes. It was the first time we've ever experienced that, and you couldn't see anything, and it was just howling with wind.
In terms of how your city is right now, there have been estimates of different death tolls. Explain. Do you have any sense of fatalities in your city, and people who are wounded? Do you have any numbers?
Well, the numbers that we've seen physically that we have retrieved is about 250 bodies already, but we can now only search more with some smell, with the smell that because a lot of bodies were mixed up with all the rubble and all the debris, and we're getting reports also of some houses that were buried, and we see some bodies floating, and these are the things that these are the stuff that we're trying to do to retrieve right now. But accessibility is still a problem in some of our small communities, because all the debris is just scattered all over, and it's very difficult to get into these places.
What are the greatest needs of people there in Tacloban right now? Food, water, shelter?
Yes, food, water, and shelter are the greatest needs right now. Earlier, it was because Tacloban is a city wherein it's by practice that every time there's a storm in the region or in the area, they take shelter in Tacloban City. And when this thing happened, they were all stranded in Tacloban City. But the first day, we were able to open the roads, and the only access to Tacloban City was through the airport. So there was an exodus of people leaving Tacloban City. And the following day, we were able to open the main arteries going out of the city, wherein a lot of people started to leave, and because they saw that there was no water and there was no food, and they had no choice but try to leave, because the relief efforts weren't really enough, and because it was just starting, because we were paralyzed here in the city government, and only about out of 300 policemen, only less than 30 were able to make it and showed up, and many are still missing. Even our own crew in the city government, we're about 1,300 strong, and only less than 100 reported, because everything is damaged, even all the vehicles. That's why it paralyzed us.